But I'm keen on your health and that of your child's health. So this is why it is important to also touch on that just for a bit. You know this already. World Breastfeeding Week 2025 commenced last Friday, August 1st. And as I said earlier, it wrapped up yesterday. Please, mothers, I would love to urge you, to implore you, to beg, to plead with you that you should reserve your breast milk for your babies and not for your older babies. You know what I mean? The zaddies. Yes. So you should reserve your breast milk for them, for your babies, as advised by the WHO, right? Do practice exclusive breastfeeding. For your baby, when you have your child, when you have your baby, it is advised that for the first hour till 6 months, that baby must be purely on breast milk. But of course, there are health challenges that may prevent mothers from doing that. We understand, and that's okay, all right? But if you are going to do that at all, make sure you do that with the advice of your doctor. Okay, so do not take things for granted and don't do things on your own. Anything that has to do with health, you must in capital letters, you must check with your doctor. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Lagos? Yes, before I also touch on that, do not forget our diaper giveaway is still very much in full swing. Should we even consider Light and Shine or so? Let me try and remember his name, who messaged me last week, begging us one bewa. Yes, to give diapers to his friends who doesn't listen to Maternity Line show. Do you think we should consider them? For the sake of the mother. So he might be winning a diaper for his friend today, his friend's wife. Yes, that's Mrs. Elegbede. But you need Shine and Smile. Yes, that Shine and Smile is the name. Shine and Smile, you need to tell Mr. and Mrs. Elegbede to listen to Maternity Line show. Okay, but we'll do the diaper giveaway, and we must say many thanks to Mr. AY all the way from the UK, who has been blessing mothers with diapers, the money to buy diapers, and I've done that. I think right now we still have some credit balance of about 24,000 naira. So far he has given us 50,000 naira almost fortnightly. Yes, so 50,000 naira so far, and now we have a credit balance of 26,000 naira. So you might be one of those lucky winners. All right, 2 minutes before my first break on Maternity Line show, and already we should be launching into today's conversation. Today's conversation, by the way, our focus is on an issue affecting children's well-being, safety, and rights. Mark those 3 words: children's well-being, safety, and rights. Okay, we are shining a light on the plight of underage domestic helps, many of whom are girls, according to research, and these are girls of school age. Okay, and they are vulnerable to the kind of work they are doing, makes them vulnerable. And of course, I don't say things without without making references to research. Last year, nairametrics.com reported that in Nigeria, as of 2022, over 20 million children aged 5 to 17 are engaged in child labor across Nigeria, with about 1.3 million involved in hazardous work. The Southeast region, according to that report by nairametrics.com, also states that the highest prevalence with nearly 49% of children in child labor. So Lagos State, as of 2024, a study funded by the Freedom Fund and U.S. Department of State compared other states to Lagos, revealing that About 37% of child domestic workers work more than 30 hours per week. Just to lay that background, bringing in some statistics. When we come back from the break I'm about to observe, I will be introducing you to my two delectable guests. One happens to be the proprietress of my daughter's school. That's Mrs. Jane Ogba. Oh, this woman, anything that has to do with children, you don't want to joke with her, because she takes it to the heart, as if this is something that is so personal to her. So she's very passionate about matters that have to do with children. Yes, so you might want to stick around. I'll be introducing her. She's live with me in the studio. She's an early year educator, a childcare practitioner as well, and I also have a lawyer. She's a friend of the house. That's Toyin in the Ndidi-Taiwo Esquire.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
It is an incontrovertible fact that the future of power is solar. It is becoming increasingly clear that solar is the way to go if reliable, clean, and uninterrupted power is our goal. Our homes need power, our offices need power, our public buildings need power, our lives and activities need power, and of course, I mean reliable power. Now, at the Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we have cut our teeth as professionals in the business of solar and renewable energy, ranging from inverters, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, solar water heating systems, solar street lights, etc. You can visit our office at the Seco Mall, 5th Roundabout, Lekki Epe Expressway, Jakonde, Lagos, or our website on www.solarworldelectric.com, or you can call us on 0906 331 5492. Solar World Electric Technology Limited. We are redefining the limits.
You've tried calling in, you've sent messages, you have had opinion, concerns, brilliant ideas. There's so much you've wanted to say, but time always runs out. The lines are always busy, the show keeps going, and your voice eventually doesn't get heard. But now, that changes. Now you have a chance to speak your truth, to express your views, to raise your voice where it truly matters. Introducing Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is your platform, a space for real Nigerians to say what is on their minds. No interruptions, no time limits on the phone, and of course, you get to have your voice heard. Just you, your voice, your truth. Here's what to do. Record a short video of yourself, just 30 seconds or less, sharing your opinion on any given issue that concerns you. It could be about government, society, your community, fuel prices, insecurity, unemployment, healthcare, power, education, whatever you feel the need to be addressed. To record this video, make sure you are in a quiet place so we can hear you loud and clear. Then post your video on social media with the hashtag NigeriaInfoVOTP. That is hashtag NigeriaInfoVOTP. Let your voice be heard. Be bold, be honest, be real. Because on a Voice of the People, everyone is listening. Nigeria is listening, and your voice could be the one that could spark change. Voice of the People. Every voice counts. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, Lagos, welcome back to the show. I am Zaynab Yekeen, and this is Maternity Line Show. Today we are talking or asking, yes, how can neighbors stay safe while reporting abuse of child domestic workers. That's the conversation we are having. Now, you might want to be a part of this show by attending to those questions I asked earlier. Before you do that, let me introduce you to my guest once again. I have live with me Mrs. Jane Ogba, child care practitioner, early year educator, child psychologist as well, who has rescued and sheltered vulnerable children fleeing those children running away from abuse. Yes, I also have our returning guest. Yes, Toyin Ndidi-Taiwo Ojo, legal practitioner and child safety advocate, who will be guiding us through the legal protections and safe reporting pathways that exist. Lagos, the numbers to call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. The WhatsApp to forward your forward your message is 0809-597-5805. Yes, so welcome my delectable women guest on the show. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ogba, who's live in the studio. Okay, please, once again, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
All right, Mrs. Madam Ndidi-Taiwo, say hello to Lagos.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to be here.
Now, you've just heard their voice. Now, this is a conversation that we need to confront. It's a painful one, to be very honest, and yet a very necessary topic. I mean, for someone like Mrs. Ogba, who has had to intervene in a situation like this in the past, you'll be hearing from her right away. Mrs. Ogba, let's just go straight into it. From your experience as a child care practitioner, can you share a recent case where a child domestic help came to you for a help?
Okay. A couple of years ago, precisely, one of the neighbors' housekeeper had been beaten up, and she ran to my flat, and I tried to shield her. My intention was to go to the mistress and, explain to her that, could we settle this amicably? But to my shock, when the mistress came, she was so upset that she used iron from hanger iron, and started beating the girl up in front of me and started cursing her. She rained all sorts of curses on her. It was at that point I couldn't take it anymore. I intervened, and the lady felt it like, what was your business, And a lot of other people, her friends, came out, and it was bad. They were eventually going to attack me for doing that. But I was ready, and I stood my grounds. But thank God, eventually we found the girl's parents, and they didn't know what she was going through, and were able to return the child back to the north, where she belonged.
The north, where she belongs, she says. Now, two things Mrs. Ogba mentioned. When she intervened, she was attacked for doing that, number one. And the child in question was dealt with the use of iron hanger, right? And this is some of the things that children in this situation goes through, right? And then when we see, as a vendor, as a neighbor, even as a school teacher, as a proprietress, we see a lot of things like this happen on our streets, next street, or maybe even 4 or 5 streets away, or even we have friends and families around who have domestic child helps, and these are some of the things they face. Now, the abuse of underage domestic workers in our homes and neighborhood, especially many of whom are girls, according to research. These children carry heavy loads. That's loads that are even too heavy for their hand, for their age, and we look away. We don't want to look away just because we want to look away, but because of the fear that we may get called out, we might be threatened. And the reason we're having this conversation today as part of maternal health issue is to get clarity on it with the help of our legal person in the house. Now, Madam Ndidi, you heard what Mrs. Ogba said. How would you respond to that before I put subsequent questions to you. Thank you.
Well, Mrs. Ogba's experience is not far-fetched. It is not something that's unbelievable. We have a culture where housemaids and houseboys are rights. We believe that even when you want to bring adults, bring a girl that is 18 or a boy that is 18, they'll say, no, she's too mature, I cannot control her. So it's all about control for most of our people. And that's why they bring underage children to work with them, because they know that adults will not agree to some of these conditions that they are subjected to. You say, I can so relate with Mrs. Ogba, because we have rescued a lot of children who were involved in child trafficking and child labor. And from my experience, they bring children from neighboring countries, Togo, Benin.
That's right.
From states like Benue, states like Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Nasarawa, Kaduna. These are states where they bring a bulk of the child laborers from. And it's not only that it is illegal, it is something that is against humanity, because most of them that bring in these children, their own children cannot even do what these children are subjected to. You see a 10-year-old child, there was a matter we handled. The girl was 7 years and she was cleaning for a grandmother of 80 years. They brought her to take care of a grandmother of 80 years who uses diaper. And I ask, you that you're an adult, you cannot clean. You know how heavy that adult 80-year-old grandmother is. You cannot do it alone. Yet you subject a 7-year-old child. The matter was successfully tried at the High Court in Lagos, and they were sentenced. But these are the matters and the things that one see on the job. So, like I said, Mrs. Ogba's experience is not far-fetched. It's what is really happening, except we want to lie to ourselves.
Right. Before I move on to asking you or getting your thoughts on say something, do something, see something, say something, and do something campaign by President Tinubu on Children's Day, which was unveiled on Children's Day, I would still love to put some more questions to Mrs. Ogba. Now, Mrs. Ogba, given your experience, what you've just shared to Lagos on this conversation, as an early years educator, when you see a child in a domestic servitude, right? How do you tell such a child is being abused from your encounter and from the things that you see around, without mentioning names? Mrs. Ogba, you and I, we live on the same street. There is a particular girl whom you personally prayed that be taken away from the mistress whom she was serving, and you told me that huge concern you had about the whole thing when each time you saw the girl pass by. Now, from your experience as an early child educator, how do you tell when you see a child domestic help, being abused? Are there common, say, maybe physical, emotional, or behavioral signs that you notice for you to be able to tell that, oh, this girl is, or this boy?
First of all, I need us to know that children are the future generation. That's what we call them.
Right.
And so we're supposed to be role models for them, right? And it's important that we take into consideration that is what you raise that you get into society. Now, when you raise a child that is abused, they become threats to you, because at the end of the day, you have workers who behave abnormal, and you don't know this from past traumas that they have had, and they don't go away. So I need to first of all cite that warning to everyone. Now, in my experience, children shouldn't do chores that they are not old enough to handle. I see some children hawk at the age of 5, at the age of 6, 7, and sometimes you see them hang around people they shouldn't hang around with. I've heard of a couple of rape cases, in that kind of situation. Another thing is a child of school age shouldn't be on the streets. I personally feel that cites to me that child is being abused. Now, when a child doesn't have adequate nutrition, you see the child doesn't look well kept. I think that child is being abused, And then the words you speak to a child, I've had the experience where at 4 a.m., you're cursing a child, and I can hear you. In fact, it wakes us up in the neighborhood, using words like onida fuen, onishorire, those kind of words. She eats, you complain she eats. She doesn't eat, you complain she eats. And most times, some of us give out food to these children that are spoiled. We don't think that they should eat what we eat. I mean, these are things that, I have seen happen. And then lack of health care. You see some children, they are ill. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you go to school today? I'm ill. So why are you not in the hospital? My mommy gave me a agbo. You understand? The question is, if it's your child shaking that way, and almost barely not breathing, will you give the child agbo and then still send the child to go and buy you bread? So you see, physical abuse, flogging. I can't recall how anyone will use iron rod to beat a child. I can't recall how anyone will throw a plate at a child. I can't, So for me, I feel these are evidences that when you see, that this child is not happy. I mean, I have children of my own. I can't remember. I can count the times when I've had to hit my children. It doesn't mean they are not disciplined. You understand? I think that there are other ways to handle a child. And if a child of an underage comes to stay with you, the child hasn't come to stay as your housekeeper. I think people should understand that when you take on an underage child, your responsibility is to foster that child, not to make the child a house help. So I'm not against keeping such children, but I need you to know that you've taken on responsibility to groom the child and make the child's life better. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So part of what Mrs. Ogba has highlighted is a child's appearance. That you're able to tell this child is being abused, roaming the streets at the time he or she is not meant to. Physical abuse, she is able to tell some of these signs when she sees. Now, back to Madam Ndidi Esquire. Now, from a legal standpoint, where I actually thought we should have taken this conversation right from the beginning, I would love for you to please tell us what exactly counts as a child domestic labor under Nigerian law, if you may, and how does it differ from household help given by an older teen or adult?
Okay. Under our law, especially the child right law, the NAPTIP Act, what is termed as child labor is employing anybody who is less than 18 years for a fee or for consideration to do a job for you. And these jobs are mostly either domestic chores or hawking. But anything that you give to a child who is not your child, even if it's your child, let me even make it clear, to do that is not commensurate, except, in fact, the law was very explicit. In fact, apart from maybe menial jobs in the house, watering of flowers, it even gives the age gaps where children, what a child can and cannot do. If I can remember very correctly, a child under 15 years, apart from menial jobs in the house, I think the highest job he can do is even watering of flowers. And why does the law do that? The law is not dictating to you that this is how you must take care of a child, but it knows that there are people who can go overboard in the name of discipline and training. And they know that to bring up a wholesome adult, you need to put some terms and conditions in place.
That's
because like Ms. Ogba said, once a child's foundation is destroyed at childhood, I'm telling you, you cannot get a wholesome adult. So, child hawking, which unfortunately people like us did when we were staying with our grandmother in the village,
That's
it wasn't
right.
known as a crime. You know, it's a crime. You can't allow a child to hawk, especially a child. In fact, street hawking is banned in most states of the federation. So, children are not supposed to hawk. Children are not supposed to be employed. They are supposed to be growing in favorable conditions. They are supposed to be in school. They're not supposed to help out in restaurants, serving customers. They are not supposed to be nannies, children taking care of children. They themselves are supposed to be taken care of. So these are many other chores, are things that the law prohibits. And the child rights law is explicit on exploitation of children, on child labor, and especially also on child abuse.
All right. Thank you so far, our Esquire. Now, let me put this to you. Recently, during the... Okay, we need to take a message, Lagos, before I come back to that, because we also need to address how neighbors can help out. They can intervene without their safety being tampered with. Now, Ifedayo, good afternoon. You have a message for us.
Hi, Adefe. So, so if you guys are looking to get fit, Transform by Kathy has something for you. So, change doesn't just happen by chance. It starts with you. And how can we get that happening? Well, on August 9th at Landmark Event Convention Center, Africa's biggest premium wellness convention is coming to you. Yes, it's not just another fitness event. It's for you, a powerful day designed to awaken you mentally, renew your mind, and revive your spirit. Whether you want to get fit, heal from stress, refocus your life, or just, well, light a fire in you, Transform by Kathy has you covered. Experience everything from Zumba, plates, core workouts, dance training, HIIT or HITT, breath work, mental wellness, and everything. Spiritual awakening, all brought to you by Nigeria's top coaches and mental experts, all in one place. Okay, so where is it again? It's at Landmark Event Convention Center at August 9th.
All right.
See you there.
All right, Ifedayo. I hope Lagos comes. Adeife. Okay, Adeife. Thank you. I'm sorry about that. So, Lagos, I'd love to engage you before I move over to Esquire. Now, have you ever suspected a child domestic help was being abused in your area? What did you do? Did you have this fear of, oh, if I ever intervene, they could come after me. My safety might not even, my safety might be at risk, right? What do you think stops neighbors from reporting such cases? Tell us, Lagos. Do you believe people should intervene if a child house help is being denied schooling or beaten? This thing has done me before. Sincerely, the woman in question, each time I hear the cries of this girl, I feel like this is an underage child. Can I just snatch this child away and be living with me? But the woman, I don't even want to because she's a Margaret Thatcher from afar, you could tell. So it's got to me, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful to God that it also caught your attention, Mrs. Ogba. The reason you in fact, Mrs. Ogba almost woke me up in my bed. You all woke me from bed last week. No, we must talk about this. I prayed. You could tell how this is so personal to her. I mean, a child educator, early child educator, a child psychologist. That's how it feels when it comes to a situation like that. Now, Madam Ojo, recently, during the 2025 Children's Day, President Tinubu unveiled the campaign See Something, Say Something, Do Something, which urges all Nigerians to become child protection champions, not just relying on government, but community vigilance backed by real systems like update to Child Rights Act and Violence Against Persons Act. Now, do you think this campaign applies to the abuse of child domestic workers? Hey, sorry, I muted.
Even before the president made that remark and unveiled that campaign, child protection includes every child, not just those who are living with their parents or living with other guidance, but it's also child domestic workers. Them most especially because they are vulnerable. Now, children, you were making a remark of how you and Mrs. Ogba live in the same street and seeing this child. I will tell you for a fact that you not doing anything about it is actually a crime. Because a crime is being committed.
Really?
And you know this is a crime. And because of your fear, which is understandable,
the core of the conversation,
you are not doing anything. Under the law, you're an accessory to that crime. All of you who know about the crime, you are accessory to that crime. And you know that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, I think after this program, I will take your address. We need to rescue that child.
She's been gone.
That child.
Right?
The good news is she's gone.
She's gone. You did not hear the part where I said, Mrs. Ogba said, I prayed that this child be taken away from this woman.
Oh, that's good news to hear. Thank you, Mrs. Ogba. It's good news to hear that. Because at every point in time, any vulnerable child is by extension our children. Because the children, I always tell people that the children that we take care of so well, give them every comfort, them to be close to adults. We grow up to these children who were damaged and who will grow up to become unwholesome adults. And they will in turn give our children that we have trained properly, they will give them problems. So we have a duty to every child we see, and we have a duty to protect them.
Okay.
So in answer to your question,
okay,
yes, the campaign covers also child domestic workers.
All right. Thank you. We take the fact that the blame you apportioned to us while you were speaking earlier, myself and Mrs. Ogba. But for the benefit of others who may be listening right now and they would love to intervene in a situation like that, but because of fear, because of they might get called out, there could be family meetings over them, what should they do? Because many neighbors fear they could be dragged into legal trouble. Right? Or be asked to pay fees if they report. Is this fair justice? What should they do? How can we intervene as neighbor without putting our safety at risk?
All right. That's a very pertinent question, and it's a question that I am very happy to elucidate more on. Now, under the child rights law, I'm happy we all live in Lagos. Lagos is a beautiful city. Is a proactive state, a survivor-centered state. All Lagos seeks for is to protect its vulnerable. And the beautiful part of it is that whether you are from Kafachan, you are from Zambiza, you are from Ugoja, wherever you are, but you live in Lagos, you have automatically become a Lagos state citizen, and Lagos protects you. We have been able to rescue children even from Benin. And Lagos State took up that matter.
Okay.
Under the Lagos State laws, and especially the child rights law, we have what we call mandated reporters. These mandated reporters are to be protected. They are whistleblowers. Whistleblowers mean that whistleblowers, like we all know, are people who tell they know a secret and they say the secret.
Let's go straight to it.
Now, mandated reporters are whistleblowers, but are to be protected. Their names, their identity are to be protected. The police, when you go to report in the police station, you just need to ask them for the gender desk or the JWC desk, or you ask for the human rights desk. These people are trained. They are police officers who are trained. They also have similar desks in all military and paramilitary parastatal. Just after you want to have the gender desk, make a report. You are not ready to pay any money. You can ask the DPO. They already know the law. Anybody who comes to report this kind of matter, you are not to be exposed. But if you are too afraid, but I know many Nigerian citizens are afraid of walking to the police station, you can Google up Lagos State Domestic Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse Agency, the DSVA. Google them up. You could see their number. You can give them an anonymous tip, or you can go to their office in Alausa, make a report. I will tell you that nobody will expose your identity. Where there will be a problem is when you have come to give false information. But they get there and they see this child being abused. I'm telling you, your name will be lost even in the annals of investigation because they will not remember you. All they remember is an anonymous person who we call a mandated reporter gave us this information, and we have carried out investigation, and we see that the investigation is true, the abuse is true, and the child will be rescued. Luckily, Lagos State has lots of shelters and homes for these children. You can also go to the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. Just ask for when you get to the lobby, you will see the receptionist. Tell them you have a crime against a child that you want to report. These are very easy ways to get the attention of government on a case of a child who is being abused or employed as a domestic worker.
And without putting your own safety at risk. Lagos, it's time for you to be a part of this conversation. You've been calling, but we are going on a short break right now. When we come back, over to you, Lagos. Be a part of this.
It is an incontrovertible fact that the future of power is solar. It is becoming increasingly clear that solar is the way to go if reliable, clean, and uninterrupted power is our goal. Our homes need power. Our offices need power. Our public buildings need power. Our lives and activities need power. And of course, I mean reliable power. Now, at the Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we have cut our teeth as professionals in the business of solar and renewable energy, ranging from inverters, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, solar water heating systems, solar street lights, etc. You can visit our regional head office at the 26 Ima Abimbola Code off Fola Oshibo, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, or our website on www.solarworldelectric.com, or you can call us on 0906 331 5492. Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we are redefining the limits.
All right, Lagos, I have this one from Philip. Philip is listening from Ogba. He says, good afternoon. Nice one, Zaynab. Before I moved away from Lekki Phase 2, there was this woman next door who had an underage child, as you are discussing. And because of the environment where this girl is staying together with her boss, nobody had that effrontery to report. But in a situation like that, what should other neighbors do? Phillips from Ekpe. Madam Toyin.
Yes, in that Lekki Phase 2, we have arrested a woman who was using her, who had a domestic child laborer. Now, because you live in that area doesn't mean that you cannot still report. Using the mechanisms that I have stated earlier on, you can still make a report and you will be protected.
All right.
So, yes,
Okay, this is Kudirat from Ketu. Kudirat says, "Good afternoon, Zainab. Well done. I love the way you bring different angles to this your show. Sometimes, this one is a must listening to. Please tell me where to listen to this show again, so others who need to listen to it should listen to it. Well, it's available. The podcast is available on nigeriainfo.fm. Thank you, Kudirat. About the last afternoon." This is a question that should be repeated on radio over and over again without even silencing our voices. Well done, Zainab, and greetings to your guest in the studio. Thank you, Ademiluyi. No location added. Ademiluyi says, well done for all that you are doing, and thanks to the guests who are giving us this education. Thank you, Ademiluyi. We are out of time, completely almost out of time. But before we go, Mrs. Ogba, I'd love to get your last words on this. If you could speak directly to a neighbor who is too scared to report, what would be your message to them?
The message is, this could be your child somewhere else, maybe in school, and when you reach out to help someone, God will help you.
All right. Thank you. Madam Ojo, what would be your advice to them to take before and after making the report?
My advice is, you see something, say something, and do something.
All right. On that note, Lagos, I'm sorry I missed a couple of calls, but we'll do that next week. I'd love to take more of your calls next week when we'll be talking about, screen time. Yes, with children on holiday. Yeah, it's a conversation to be had. Big thanks to my guests on the show today. May God honor you, Madam Ogba and Madam Ndidi. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, Lagos, it's time for the news. Stick around.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria.